Steve Gamache here for another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. What we have this time is the Hatsukokoro VG5 Hayabusa Santoku 180mm knife. And this line of knives has a 3-layer construction, and what they've got is the hardcore cutting edge steel is VG5, full stainless steel. Heat treats around 5960 Rockwell on that core steel. And then they've got a soft stainless cladding on that steel as well. Fit and finish is nicely done on these. You've got a typical kind of machine, or not necessarily machine finish, but kind of belt finish or sand finish that goes vertical on it. You can see that there. These are thin knives. These are very thin at the tip and the edge. It's a little hard to show the cladding line, but it is there. There's your core steel, and they've got an acid etched, nicely done kanji, and then VG5 listed there. The weight and dimensions on these should be pretty similar from knife to knife. They're probably laser cut and then ground to shape. Handles on these, they might change handles over time. Right now they've got these Wenge handles on them. So with that handle, the weight's 118 grams or 4.2 ounces, so it's a light knife. Edge length is right about 180, 7.1 inches from the tip to the back of the heel. And the overall length's about 319 millimeters or 12.6 inches. As I mentioned, these babies are thin. This one is about 1.7 millimeters at the back and about 1.5, maybe a touch over here. And then not a lot of tapers, you might guess, being so thin, but it's already thin, and then it thins out really nice at the tip. There's the grind there. You can see that cladding line. It's hard to show in the lighting, but there's your cladding line right there. And then they're very thin at the tip. These babies are skinny. So these are going to be like really serious laser fly through soft produce, no problem. Probably wouldn't want to cut a butternut squash up with this, but it's going to fly through stuff. See, the camera can almost not even pick up how thin that sucker is. So that is really skinny at the tip and the edge. So these are going to fly through food. Blade height's 48, so nice and generous on the height. You've got kind of medium-sized neck here. Handle is a little bit wider than the neck, but there's still a pretty good spot for your finger for a pinch grip. Plenty of room on the cutting board there. The balance point's going to be pretty far back because the blade's light because it's so thin. It's not super long. And then your handle's pretty heavy. This Wenge is pretty dense. So, you know, your balance point's a little bit behind the choil, probably right about in there is your balance point. So it's definitely going to feel a little bit handle heavy. Now, if you're using like a racket style grip, it'll probably balance a little bit better. Just depends if you use a wah grip. I shouldn't say wah grip, but a pinch grip, or if you use like a racket style grip. The handles are very nice. They are octagonal Wenge, very kind of squarish proportions, and buffalo, black buffalo horn. Very pretty handles, nice fit and finish. They've got a pretty nice glue up job here where the tang goes into the ferrule, the top of the handle. Again, really nice looking knives. I guess we need our beauty shot here for the video. Nice fit and finish, a little bit of rounding on just enough to take the edges off the spine, edges off the choil and the neck. So 5, 6 out of 10 on the edge quality. I mean, they've got decent out-of-the-box edges, but you can definitely get them a little bit sharper if you do your part. Again, the blades are very thin. A little bit of flex on them because they're so thin, but not bad. They're fairly stiff for how thin they are. And here is the edge profile on the cutting board. So as you can see, they've got a pretty decent flat area towards the back, maybe 30% of the blade. It flows pretty nice into a stop back there. So you can do a little chopping in the back. And then the belly, typical Santoku, is kind of a sheep's foot profile on it. So the tip's not going to be, you know, super high on the blade. But you can, this one, they're pretty aggressive with the belly towards the tip. So I can get pretty high before digging the tip in, really actually quite high. So this will rock really nicely over all kinds of stuff. A little bit of chopping in the back. Tip draws, you're going to have to go pretty high just because of the way they finished that front few inches of the knife off. But push-pull cuts, great. Glide cuts, really nice. Rocking, excellent. A little bit of chopping towards the back. So pretty versatile profile, actually, for a 180mm knife. Again, very nice line of knives. VG10, you know, it's not the world's highest end steel, but it'll do the job nicely. It's a quality steel, and the fit and finish is nicely done on these. It'll sharpen up nicely. You got great handles on them, so it's be an excellent line of knives for, you know, anybody's home kitchen. This is the Hatsukokoro VG5 Hayabusa Santoku 1 80mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.